Welcome back, everyone. This is Thomas Triple T Tie with another new bullish crypto analysis. Let's dig in and find out what's going on the Bitcoin technical analysis chart. We have trading view on display here using the weekly time frame, and this descending triangle has been here for a bit. And what we're seeing here is the bottom line, dash line here, is the descending triangle support level. You can see that several times it's bounced towards this direction and went back up. And it's also a support line for and resistance for previous weekly candles as well. There you go. And so far, we have had more red candles than we've had green or white candles. And it's bounced up against this resistance descending line here and then drops back down. I'm predicting that it's either going to consolidate this way. Let me turn that on for you here. So it's going to consolidate this in this direction sideways to the right, or if it breaks through the resistance level here for the descending triangle, it'll break towards this direction, and that's heading towards 50,000. The max paying price for options is 46,000. It's dropped over the last few weeks. It went from like 53, 54 or something like that, down to 52, down to 48, and then in the last few days it's dropped down to 46. So the chance of it heading up in this direction towards 50 is lower. More than likely it will head towards this direction here, 46. Let's adjust that a little bit. If it goes that direction. The other direction that it could go toward is crab sideways, consolidate sideways, and then head towards 46. Or if the 46 max paying price drops lower, then it will head towards 44 or possibly 43. And that's still relatively pretty much sideways, just a tad up. So this one will look more like this. Something like that. Little sideways, little up. If the weekly candle breaks below the support level here, then it's going to go down towards this direction. More likely test the 40,000 price level and potentially quick flash to like around 38 or so. And if there's more pressure, like some significant manipulation, it might even drop lower. It's important to consider multiple paths of where Bitcoin might go so that we're prepared. For example, if it drops below 38,000 or drops towards 40,000, what are you going to do? What kind of buy limits do you have in place? Or are you layering down below to 38, potentially to 30? That's what I do. I layer all the way down to around 30. And I have my position set. So it doesn't matter which way it goes. I want it to go up so my bag can grow. But if it goes down, I'm good with it too. And that might be a thought process that you might want to consider. And that, let's look at some indicators. We have the Bollinger Bands here. This is the top of the bands. In November, Bitcoin reached the top of overbought, and then it dropped. And now it's near the bottom of the Bollinger Band. Near on the weekly chart, it would be close to oversold. So that in itself is bullish, but the Bollinger Band can always expand like this way so that the price will follow it. On the KDJ, probably my favorite indicator. We have the J line, which is the white line here, below, and it's been trending below the other two line, and that's very bearish. However, it's leveling out. You can see it would trend down and leveling out there. I hope you can see it. If it levels out like that, that's a good sign, because more than likely it's going to trend back up and cross the other two. When it does that, that's a very positive sign. And even more positive would be when it crosses the other two and all three of them fan out like that, and they all go up together and ascend together. That's a very bullish sign. But right now it's more neutral. It's going sideways. But the other two are still descending. On the MACD, we are still in bearish level here. You can see the histogram being red. White is bullish, and this is more lagging though. So it looks like we're halfway through the bearish period, and what it can do is it will start to taper shorter, and then shorter, and then it'll hit the zero level, and then it'll go to white or green on your chart. And how you can see that is there's this white line right here. That white line is currently below the red line. And as soon as the white line levels off and starts trending back up and crosses the red line, the MACD will turn bullish. Down below here, at this next level, we have the RSI, which is the red. The CVD, cumulative volume, that is the aqua color. I don't know what color that is, aqua. And the momentum indicator is the white. I used all three together to help me get a feel for how they play against each other. Currently, the momentum indicator is dipping below, has been trending below the other two, and that's bearish. What I typically look for in a bullish situation is for the white line, the momentum indicator, to start trending above the other two, and they all fan out in an ascending pattern. Currently it's below, and all three are trending down slightly, with momentum trend having a slightly steeper slope, and so it could go down slightly some more before it levels off and swings back up. And you can see some, let me find a period where it does that for you. Here it trended back up towards the other two, and then you can see the price went up, but that's a decent one. Here's another one where the white line was below the other two, and then it started moving up, and all three moved up right in this period. All three ascended, and they all came to a peak right here, which is the peak of this rally here. You can see it. That's good. On the weekly chart, I don't see one that I can show you right now where the white line crosses the, well, actually, kind of here. It drops below the white lines below both of the RSI and the CVD line, and drops below here, and then it crosses above the CVD line towards the RSI line, and then over here it went above the RSI line, and you can see that strong movement rally up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks of rally, and that's a very strong indicator. We don't have that right now. It looks like it could be leveling off, but we'll see. Next, what we're going to look at is the let's go to the time frame of a daily chart and see what's going on with that one. On the daily chart, I've had this channel, the channel, you can see it here, downward channel. Here's the top resistance line, and here's the bottom support line. And Bitcoin has been moving along in that channel for quite some time. What we want to see is if it's going to be bullish, it's going to need to break through that channel to the upside this way. However, if it breaks below this channel, that's very bearish. Like here we had a flash crash down here. This is total manipulation right here. Flash crashed down, broke through the support channel, and then but it was able to bounce back up because those type of manipulations are temporary and price will return to what the market wants. And then it rode along the support level here for a while and went back up, hit the top, went back down, consolidated here. So that's the channel. Inside the channel, I'm going to zoom in for you here so you can see it. There we go. And maybe down a little bit so I can see the other levels. Inside the channel, we have a symmetrical triangle. However, Bitcoin on the daily chart moved below the support line of the symmetrical triangle. So now it's becoming bearish for that symmetrical triangle pattern. A symmetrical triangle pattern is where you have a top line and a bottom line, and they're somewhat symmetrical. If you draw a middle line right there, and they come to a point. And if it breaks to above, that's bullish. If it breaks below, that's bearish. And it broke below. However, it's creating a new line, a new pattern here. So we want to adjust the pattern for that. And what I'm seeing is a descending triangle, the symmetrical triangle changing into a descending triangle. So what we want to do is change this to accommodate. If you press shift when you align these lines, it'll go at 90, 0, or 45 degrees. That will help you a lot. And we want to adjust this line to touch part of the top of the candles there. You don't have to be exact. Let's extend this out. Click, shift, draw, extend out. So now we have a descending triangle, which is a bearish signal where we have a support level below. And you can see it crossed or touched it multiple times and went back up. And on top, we have a support resistance level where Bitcoin's daily candles will go up, touch it, or cross it slightly and drops back down. What it's going to likely do is continue to follow this top line and go towards this low point here. If it does that, then it'll continue to the downside. That's why it's called a bearish pattern. However, if it breaks above the support, the resistance line here, it'll go to the upside and it'll bounce towards this other resistance line in the channel. However, if it drops below this, that makes it even more bearish, and more than likely it will head towards this other channel here. And on the indicators, we have the top of the Bollinger Bands here. We have the bottom of the Bollinger Bands here, and it's just above the bottom. So it's, bottom would be oversold. So it's slightly oversold, but it could move either direction. We also have this red line here. I'm not sure if you can see it. Right there, there's a red line. That's the 200-day moving average. And when it's been below that since December 28th, and it's tried to bounce back up, but it dropped back down. And that is a very strong support level. And if it goes below that and stays below that, it's very bearish. What we want to see is that for the daily candles to go back above the 200-day moving average. Down below, we have the volume here, and volume has been trending it was trending down for a little bit, and then now it's leveling off, and the slight indication that it's going back up. And that's the white line there. That's a moving average for volume. For the for the KDJ indicator, we have the J line, which is a leading indicator for the other two lines. It's dropping below the other two lines. So what that's indicating is that more than likely the daily candles will continue towards downward before this J line, white line, levels off and picks back up. And it doesn't have to go all the way down here. It could just start picking back up, but we wanted to see it level off and bottom out. But if it continues on a descending slope, that's very bearish. On the with the MACD, we have histograms here showing we're in a bullish period, and that's usually white histogram bars here, or on your chart it might be green. And with the white line below and it cross above the red line, that's pretty bullish. So you got to combine multiple indicators together to see what they're telling you. Using one or just two may be challenging to be accurate in anticipating where the price is going to move. Down below, we have the RSI in red here. We have CVD, cumulative volume, in the aqua color, greenish, bluish color. And then we have the white line being the momentum or the MOM indicator. Currently, MOM is above the other two and trending down. That's a bearish sign. If it trends down and crosses the other two, that's even more bearish. Or touches the other two, that's even more bearish. Like, I'll give you some examples here. Here, you can see the white line, the MOM momentum indicator, drops below and comes close to the aqua line volume, and they crossed the aqua line and came close to the RSI line, and guess what happened? Price dropped. So using a combination of these three together gives me a better picture. You might find that helpful for yourself as well. Let's go to the hourly chart and see what's going on the hourly chart. I'm going to maximize this out so it's easier for you to see. So before I zoom in, let's take an overall look. What is it doing? It's trending down and then consolidated. Okay. And then I've drawn two horizontal lines here. The top dashed line in white is the support, the resistance for this channel. A channel is like, think of it as a tube, and water's flowing through the tube. It can only go, within that boundary, at least for a short period of time. The bottom white dash line is the channel support, and that's where the candles will bounce off of. Bounce up, resistance here, bounce back down. And then we'll go into the indicators below in a bit. So let's zoom in. If you in trading view, if you put your mouse somewhere along where you want to zoom in and click the control key down and mouse scroll up, it'll expand right from that point. And then you can just stretch this up and see. That might be a little too much. Click drag to move it. In addition to the channel, we also have a pattern of an ascending triangle with the top sharing the line with the top of the channel resistance, and this diagonal line going up is the support. So this pattern tells me that Bitcoin's hourly candle will go within here and reside within the channel. However, this current daily candle dropped below the support line. That's a bit bearish. If it goes back up and trends back and breaks above this channel, that's bullish. Or it could goes back up and consolidate sideways. That's another possibility too. Let's take a look at the hourly volume. It's trending slightly up, but mostly horizontal. And if we take a look at the KDJ line, it's bearish. The white line, you can see this period here where the white line was below the other two, and then it went up and crossed the K, which is the blue line, and the D, which is the orange line, crossed both up, and you can see the pattern right here. Went up, price went up. KDJ turned it down, crossed the other two, and you can see the pattern of the candles dropping down. Now it's below the other two and still has a pretty 45-degree angle slope, and so that's bearish. We want to see that also level off for price to revert. However, if it continues to on this steep downward slope, it's going to be more bearish. And I anticipate it to be more bearish because I do expect Bitcoin's hourly candles to come near 41 to liquidate some of the long positions that are in place between 41 and where the price is right now. And it's been doing that. Earlier it was above 42 and I predicted it would drop, and it is dropping. MACD on the hourly is bullish because you can see the white histogram here. However, it's tapering off, and you can't see the white line here, but the white line is coming down towards the red line, and it's going to cross, which drops the histogram down and make it red, and that's going to be bearish. So we have multiple indicators so far on the hourly chart showing bearish signals. Let's go down to this last group of indicators. RSI is red, CVD is aqua, and momentum indicator is white. Momentum is currently trending down, and it's about to cross the CVD line. When momentum trends down and crosses one of these other two lines, that's very bearish, and it's currently doing that. RSI remains pretty low down here at it's actually in the middle. It's about 47. So when momentum crosses the CVD and also crosses the RSI line, guarantee you we're going between that point and where we are now, that's gonna be a bunch of red candles. Let's see how that works out. Let's go from here. You see here, you see the white momentum indicator line above the red RSI line and above the aqua CVD line, and then it drops down and it comes close, crosses the RSI line, and then touches the CVD line. Look at what happened. Drop in price on the hourly chart. So again, using these indicators together and combine them with the MACD and also the KDJ, very helpful in anticipating where the price is going to go. And that wraps it up for our technical analysis for Bitcoin. If you found value in this video, smash the like, ring the bell, and hit subscribe if you haven't done so. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video today, and more to come tomorrow also. Take care.